All right, it is officially day one of the Steeled Resolve event. I'm glad I said that right the first time, because if you saw a couple videos ago, I had a really hard time struggling to say the words Steeled Resolve. But I said it right, and that's all that matters right now. But what is important to talk about is the fact that we got Shiny Meltan back in the game. I'm gonna go ahead and put on start the mystery box here in a couple minutes. But first I wanna go over what I'm hoping to get out of this event. So I think I already have 2 Shiny Meltan from previous events. My goal is to try to get at least 2 more. If I can get maybe, I don't know, at least 4 in total, for the duration of this event, then I think that would be awesome. That should be the goal, because what I want is to at least transfer a couple of them into, one evolved and one not evolved, into Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, so that way I at the very least have those shiny in those games, so that way whenever I do complete the shiny decks for those games, then that's already done. And then of course I'd want to get a couple of them into Sword and Shield, and then more to put into Pokemon Home eventually down the line. So maybe I don't want to have 4. Maybe I'd like to catch at least, I don't know, 8 probably. 2 for each generation. Get 2 in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, 2 in Sword and Shield, 2 in Scarlet and Violet, and then 2 just to have in Pokemon Home. So we'll see if I can try to get that many when the event is over. But right now, I'm gonna go ahead and put the mystery box. I don't know how frequently I'll be able to reuse it, because it seems like they've reduced it down to 3 days or 4 days. When it first came out, it was a 7-day wait for you to be able to use the mystery box again. Now, what's also great about the mystery box is that you don't have to move around in order for it to be effective. You could essentially just stay in one spot, and the incense aspect of the mystery box, the part of the item that spawns in the Pokemon, will continuously spawn in Pokemon every 30 seconds or so, unlike how the regular incense, you have to be moving in order for it to be the most effective. Otherwise, if you stay still, then the incense is only effective by spawning in Pokemon once every few minutes. I think it's like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go for a walk, do a lap around the park, as I tend to do in a lot of these videos when I go out for a walk, and see if within the next hour that the mystery box is effective, I can potentially get 1 or 2 shiny. I don't expect to get a whole bunch of shinies today. I forget what the shiny rates are. I would think that they're, I don't know, maybe 1 in 150 if I had to guess, maybe 1 in 250. But I do expect to hopefully at least get 1 today, and do my best to try to get more over the next 7 days essentially. All right, I've got 55 minutes. I should be able to do an entire lap in about 45 minutes. So then I'll have a few minutes left over to just sit around and finish off the mystery box with whatever spawns in. Now, of course, another thing to mention is that Earthworm is also a new Pokemon that is being released during this event. So I don't actually know if I'm gonna come across any of them in the wild. I actually don't know if they can spawn in the wild. I'm trying to get this Meltan back here, but this stupid, oh my god, I swear if I have to go back. There we go. Okay, now I got it. Anyway, as I was saying, if I do come across one, then of course I'm going to catch one. But I think the key thing is to figure out how to get them to spawn, or more so figure out how they are spawning, and then hopefully I come across a shiny one. One thing I also want to talk about with the Volcanion is, I believe it was yesterday as of recording, Pokemon announced that you can get the shiny Volcanion. I almost said something else. You can get shiny Volcanion if you complete all of the Pokédexes in Legends ZA. So if you complete the normal game Pokédex, if you complete the Pokédex for the DLC, as well as completing all of the Mega Evolutions, and you have to catch all those Pokemon within Legends ZA. You can't import them from other games. They have to be with the Met location in Pokemon Legends ZA in order for it to count. Once you transfer those Pokemon into Pokemon Home and they get registered to the Pokédex, then you can get the shiny Volcanion as the gift. So anyone looking to get that bad boy, make sure you do that and you do it correctly, otherwise you can't get it. All right, so I made it back here to the park. I am not going to do another lap or a partial lap around the lake. So what I'm gonna do instead is just walk through the park real quick, catch whatever's here or shiny check whatever's here, and then I'm just gonna walk back to the car and finish up with the rest of the mystery box while I'm sitting in the car where there's AC, because my God, it's hot out here. Yo, there we go. Wow. Finally, okay, I got one. That's awesome. One down, 7 to go. Had no idea that was a shiny. Let's see, anything good? Okay, that's actually not that bad. Not that bad. Okay, well, I'm gonna save that one. With that shiny cut right there, I'm gonna go ahead and walk to spin this last Pokestop and then go back to my car. All right, so that's gonna do it for the day one of the Sealed Resolve event. I walked away with one shiny Meltan so far. I still have a few days, 6 more days to try to get a few more. I mean, if one a day is doable, I think that I'd be fine too. Like, even if I don't get the 8, I think if I get like somewhere between 5 and 7, I think that would be also kind of amazing. But I'm still gonna be pushing for that goal of getting to 8, so that way I can put 2 in each of the Switch games in which they are eligible to be in, like I mentioned earlier in the video. So that's gonna do it for part 1. I am gonna go and get home, take a shower and all that stuff, and I'll see you back here for part 2 in just a second. Okay, it is Friday, May 1st, day 4 of the event, and 3rd time me trying to get a shiny Meltan, or more shiny Meltan. I'll explain why I didn't walk for the second attempt, or for the second hunt in just a minute here. But what I'm gonna do today real quick so I can explain is that I'm not gonna go for a walk. I think I'm just gonna hang out here in the park where I have some of these Pokestops that I can spin constantly every 5 minutes, so that way I have at least a steady flow of items that I could use when I'm catching these Pokemon. Now, as I've said before, because of the way that the mystery box works with how they spawn in Pokemon, it's not like how an incense, like a regular incense, spawns in Pokemon every 30 seconds or so when you're moving, as opposed to every few minutes when you're not moving. The mystery box works where it will still spawn in the Meltan every 30 seconds or so, even if you're not moving. And there is an Orthworm raid, and that's the first Orthworm I've seen this event so far. I didn't realize that it would be only in raids, so I'm gonna do my best to try to do a few of these up until the event ends on Monday and see if I can get any shinies. I think if I take a seat over here at this picnic table, I should be fine. So I think I'm just gonna hang out here for the next hour. Let me just catch whatever Pokemon are here first, and then I'll drop the mystery box and start catching Meltan. And then I'll also explain what I did. Well, right now it would have been 2 days ago when I did my second hunt for shiny Meltan. I didn't go for a walk. I instead, because there were other things that I needed to work on at home, such as editing some videos, I decided to just do one of my mystery box openings while I was sitting there. Actually, I was streaming the other day. I was streaming, I believe it was for Dynamax Adventures, a challenge that I've been doing on YouTube on and off for like the last year plus. Well, YouTube and Twitch. And because of that, I wasn't able to do another session yesterday when it came to the Meltan. I basically skipped a day, or I missed a day. And so I missed out on a whole hours worth of Meltan spawns. I'm actually gonna get a little bit closer because I can't reach this other Pokestop here, and I want to do these three rocket grunts actually, because of the event tied to this. So I'll do these real quick, and then we'll start shiny hunting for the Meltan. So off the top of my head, I don't know what shadow Pokemon can or cannot be shiny. So I'm going to assume that these 3 battles are going to be possible shinies. So let's see. Not a shiny. Shadow check number 2, not shiny. And not shiny. All right, I'm gonna do the Orthworm raid first, and then we'll get into the Meltan. And these are level 3 raids, so they should be easily done solo, so long as you have a good team, high CP, with a good moveset, of course. Now, the recommendations, of course, are to bring your best ground, fighting, and fire type Pokemon to take on the Orthworm. Ooh, this is actually gonna be pretty close. So I gotta hit with my best attacks and not miss a single attack in general, because I'm like right on par with how much percentage of damage I'm dealing with how much time is left. If I can get into the red right before 45, then we're good. Okay, no, we're good. Easy. Okay, whew, with 10 seconds left. I don't always have the best Pokemon, but when it matters, they can come through. Okay, so not a shiny. But this will be a Pokédex entry for me. Probably should have used a Pineapple Berry, but that's fine. And there we go. I should be able to do a few more of these up until Monday, assuming that I get lucky and I'm close to a raid in which I can just go up to and participate in. Not a bad first start. Let's see what its stats are. Okay, I mean, they're not bad. They could be better. All right, so let's go ahead. I have an hour starting now. Let's see if I can get any shiny Meltan today. Now, to talk about what I did 2 days ago. So I was able to just go through and sit there for an hour trying to see if I can get another shiny Meltan. I did not get another shiny Meltan. So right now I'm only at the one that I caught on the first day. So right now I'm still at the 1 out of 8 total that my ideal goal would be. But realistic goal is still 4. So I'm already a quarter of the way through. Oh, and I forgot to mention this on the first day too, now that I'm looking at it. I, of course, bought the Go Pass Deluxe for the event, and they did something a little bit different this time. So when you go down to rank 60, they don't have the 2 encounters like they have for the last couple of events. So everything after 30 is just Stardust. So my goal is to just get to 30. There are 3 Meltan encounters towards the very end at 29 and 30. And then some other rewards, of course, some other encounters. I will claim all of this at the end of the event, so that way I can just do everything all at once, just in case I come across a shiny from here. To keep things a bit more interesting, I put a magnetic lure to see if I can also get any other shiny steel-type Pokemon while I'm trying to get Meltan. All right, you know what? My ass is falling asleep. My legs are falling asleep. I'm gonna see if I can sit at this bench over here and still be within range of the gym, because I need to sit properly. Doing the crisscross, not gonna work for me. All right, hold on, because I might move again. I'm trying to find a spot that's somewhere nestled nicely in between these 2 Pokestops, so that way I can guarantee that I get encounters on both of them, and not just that one that I was closest to. Whatever. All right, this is the best I can do. Yo, dude, let's go. Shiny Meltan number 2. I was not expecting that already so soon. Dude, nice. And we have like 40 something minutes left. So still more opportunity. Oh, sorry, 39 minutes left. Still more opportunities to try to get maybe one more today to make up for yesterday and the day before probably too. See, and it's a low CP one here too, number 40 or CP 44. Crappy IVs, but a shiny is a shiny. Let's go. All right, so I wasn't able to get the last shiny before getting up to my car, so that'll do it for this part of the video. Now, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to go on any more walks after today. Today's Friday, May 1st. So I have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to try to get more shiny Meltan if possible. So I'm not gonna be able to go for a walk. But at the very least, what I could do is, whether I'm sitting at home before I go to work, or if I'm on my lunch break or something, I could probably open up the game and sit there for the hour and try to get Meltan to spawn in and see if I can get another shiny. But I'm not gonna be able to go out for a walk and add more to this video. So what I'll do is I'll just come back to you guys here in a few seconds with a recap and do all of the Go Pass and Go Pass Deluxe reward claims and see if I get any shinies from that. All right, so it's officially the end of the Steel to Resolve event, and there are a couple of things that I really want to talk about. And then at the end, we'll talk about the rewards from the Go Pass Deluxe and see if we can get any additional shiny Pokemon from those encounters. So on camera, I was only able to get the 2 shiny Pokemon that you saw throughout the video. But on the days where I couldn't go out for a walk, I instead just sat at home with the mystery box open and tried to see if I can get any more shiny Meltan. And that's exactly what I did. Now, even though I didn't reach my goal of getting 8 total shiny Meltan, I did still catch a fairly decent amount in total. So off camera, I was able to catch 3 Pokemon. And one of them was actually a little bit more special than the other ones because this has only ever happened to me, I think, once. And the fact that it happened again, I think is pretty insane. So here at the top, I have the 5 total shiny Meltan that I caught throughout the event. The first one here was from, it was the first one that you saw me catch in the video. And then this one was the one that I caught 3 days later when I went for the other walk, and I caught that one on camera. Now on Saturday, I had to go to work, so I wasn't able to go out for a walk. But right before I went into work, I decided to sit there in my room for an hour while I tried to get more shiny Meltan. And I got this little guy, and that was the first of 2 that day, because then I think they were only a few minutes apart, and this one was closer towards the end. I would say maybe within 5 or 10 minutes of the mystery box not running out, the timer running out for it. And then if you haven't noticed by now, what's special about this one is that it was a double XL, and the only other time that I've gotten a double XL shiny was a Roselia. I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, because I think I got a Tink for Calm Day, so maybe I think 3 now. Yeah, let me just confirm. Oh, no, I'm way off, dude. Wow, 5 times. Okay, I'm gonna cut all that stuff out. Never mind. So pretty cool that I was able to get now my 6th shiny XXL Pokemon. And then finally, this guy I got on Sunday, on the day after, so the second to last day. Again, while I was sitting in my room, but instead of doing this before work, I did it after work because for whatever reason, the mystery box was available not until later on in the day. So I was able to do it after I got home from work at about, I think, 9 o'clock, give or take, or 9:30, which meant that I could not the next day do one more mystery box before the event ended at 8 o'clock. But in total, I was still able to do 5 out of the 7 days, because I think it was on Thursday I couldn't do it because of the timing with the mystery box. I, for whatever reason, don't still understand what the timing was about. I don't know, how long it actually was. I thought maybe it was 24 hours, but it didn't seem like it was supposed to be 24 hours. But again, I could be completely wrong. I never looked up to see what the actual cooldown time was for the mystery box during the event. I assumed it was 24 hours, but it didn't feel that way. It felt like a little bit more, maybe like 36 hours, like a day and a half. But then again, I was still able to do 5 out of the 7 days. So maybe it was 24 and the timing was just off. So when it comes to the total number of Meltan / Melmetal that I have shiny is 7. And even though I didn't get my goal of 8, getting 5 was still not that bad. I mean, I expected to get around 4 or 5 initially, but even though I really wanted 8, but getting the 5, I think more than makes up for the last time that shiny Meltan was in the game, which I don't even think I got one. So I do look forward for the next time that Meltan is available shiny in the game. So that way I can at least try to get 3 more to satisfy what it is that I want to do with the Pokemon and have them in Home and the other Switch titles and whatnot. All there's left now is to claim all of these rewards and do all of these encounters and see if I can get any more shiny Pokemon as a result of this event. Okay, so there aren't that many encounters this time, unlike the previous events. I felt like there were at least like 20 or 25 Pokemon to encounter, within the first 30 ranks. And this one only has 13, so I have fewer chances to get shiny, but hopefully I'll get a shiny, maybe even a first time shiny. So let's go and see what we can get. Nope, not a shiny, not shiny, not a shiny, no shiny, not a shiny, but the shiny for this one is really sick with the blue. Not a shiny. I don't think these can be shiny, right? I'm pretty sure they're not. Not a shiny, assuming that they're shiny. Not a shiny, not a shiny. And finally, not a shiny. Right, well, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the couple of shiny Pokemon that I was able to get on camera, and I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that is, because I'm not gonna be able to participate completely in the Lechonk Community Day that's on this Saturday, because as I've mentioned in a previous video, I do work from 10 to 7, so I'm gonna miss pretty much the entire thing unless I can log into the game probably and try to catch some while I'm on my break. Or even if I can't do that, I could at the very least bring my Pokemon Go Plus Plus with me to work and have that on, so that way I can try to catch shiny Lechonk while I'm there, doing my thing at work. I just hope that I don't fail any shinies, or at the very least, even if I do catch shiny Pokemon, I hope I do catch enough to be able to evolve Lechonk into both the female and the male form, and of course to keep one as Lechonk. So there won't be a video on that, but in the next video, whichever event that ends up being, I will do a quick little debrief with Lechonk to see if I did catch any shinies and talk about those, then just go about with the rest of whatever that video might be. So thank you guys for watching today, and I'll see you guys whenever the next one comes out. Later.